too.
Shalom Yeshua. First and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory to Yahuwah, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ba'ashem. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, peace and blessings to those of the Akim that preach the word in all truth and sincerity. So when the Hebrew Israelites hear the prophesy America's downfall, which America, according to the Bible, is the daughter of Babylon or Babylon the Great. You know, we here to teach repentance and warnings of destruction unto our people and to the heathen nations. You know, Esau, Edom, you know, the so-called white man is Esau, Edom, according to the Bible, and the MOTB is an implantable device that will go in either hands or your forehead, according to Revelation 13 and 16. You know, so a lot has been going on throughout this week, you know, on the news. You know, you had Hurricane Ian that ripped through Cuba, you know, in Florida, you know. Florida was a Category 5, you know, hurricane, you know, which completely destroyed Fort Myers, man, you know, and you know, and it made it to South Carolina, you know, which it was a Category 1 storm, you know. We also had a situation that happened in Europe concerning the Nord Stream pipelines. Both of them were sabotaged, and in the Baltic Sea, which Donald Trump came out saying that America had ties behind that, you know, and it was a Poland official that also said the same thing that he posted on his Twitter account that he said, thank you, America, something like that, you know. So, you know, we still, you know, having high inflation in America. You know, the cost of living is going up. The love of many is waxing cold, which crime is going up, you know, so there's no peace. Can you start with that? Yeah, 48, 22. Sure. You know, because, you know, we're supposed to give warning to our people, the Israelites, and you heathen nations of what's to come to America very soon. You know?
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 48, verse 22. There is no peace, saith Yahuwah, unto the wicked.
Yeah, so there is no peace, saith Yahuwah Shemashah, unto the wicked. Now the wicked is the biblical Edomites, the so-called white race. You know, they are the wicked according to the Bible. But you also have 2/3 of our people that follow them. These are the wicked and the heathen nations. Because, you know, their Babylon is not going to be healed, man. You know, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. You know, as we approach the day of our Lord Yahuwah coming, you know, the feds just rated up, ranked up the interest rates, man, which is going to make everything higher, which is going to make everything higher and more expensive to get business loans and house loans, man. You know, you're seeing the prices in California, you're seeing the gas hiking back up, man. By my house in Long Beach, within 3 days, the gas had hiked up by like $1.50, man, which is a lot, you know. But those are telltale signs or tokens that this place is on its way out. It's circling the drain, man. You know.
This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word out of my mouth and give them warning from me.
Right. Now in the ancient world, the watchman will sit on the towers and to look if any opposing enemy will try to conquer the city. You know, now in the spiritual sense, in today's day, we are the spiritual watchmen, keeping up with the current events and blowing the trumpet on our highways and byways and throughout our daily sit-downs that we make throughout the week to warn the sheep. You see? So we're doing the same fashion, we're doing the same thing, but just in a different fashion. You know?
Because knowledge has increased. All right, this is Isaiah 62 and 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night.
Yeah, never hold their peace. Why? Because this is an ongoing thing. As Yahuwah was saying, before we started camp, this is a legacy of our forefathers, man, and the prophets coming out week in, week out until the day the Lord brings out destruction, man. You know, because very soon it's going to be a famine in the world. The Lord's going to withdraw all his prophets from out the highways and byways, and people is going to be running like with your heads cut off like chickens, man. And you're not going to get the answers. You know, so right now for you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, it will behoove you to repent while it is still the day. See, before that night comes, when that night comes, no man's gonna be able to work therein, man. You know?
Continuing on, it says, ye that make mention of Yahuwah, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
Yeah, so we're not supposed to give Yahuwah by Shimon Shai no rest. We're supposed to constantly be doing the work, constantly be praying to him, fasting, and the Spirit helps us to fast, you know? Because we have to be that woman that was constantly begging the judge for justice, man. You know, in one of the parables of our Lord Yahuwah, you know? And that was a wicked judge. So how much more than the righteous judge, Yahuwah Shimon Shai? The Lord hears the cries and the prayers of his elect, man. Crying for the downfall of this wicked ass kingdom. You know, we're not trying to be compatible here, man. We're not of this world, man. You know, Yahuwah Shai says, I'm above and you're beneath, man. Which Yahuwah Shai, he was speaking to the wicked Israelites, but that can apply to all these wicked individuals that love this lifestyle, man. You see, we're not of this world, man. You know.
Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness.
Now what's the Lord's tongue? The Lord's tongue are his prophets, man. Because the prophets have been out in America, Babylon the Great, since the late 60s by way of Abba Bivens, which was Elijah the prophet coming back in the reincarnation. You know? So the Lord is fed up, man. You know? The Lord is fed up with 2/3 of our people just living their life, walking past their salvation by way of walking past the camps, man. The Lord's gonna start acting, man. The Lord is acting already, but it's gonna intensify, man, to make you people acknowledge that you're going off. Your lifestyle is not pleasing until Yahuwah Shimon Shai for you Israelites, man. You know?
Which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise.
All right, and what does suffer mean? Suffer means allow. Because the Lord has allowed you wicked individuals of our people, you women by way of feminists, which is the liberation movement, and our people to do whatever they want. Just as it was happening in the time of Judges. When there was no king in Israel, man did whomsoever he did. That same spirit is happening today, man. Our king Yahuwah Shai is now on the earth. So you feel the liberty to do what you want. You know? But you're making grace a cloak of maliciousness, man.
Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me.
And who is the innocent and righteous blood? That's the elect, the Lord's prophets crying out. You know, crying for the downfall, crying because of the oppression. You know?
And the souls of the just complain continually.
Yeah, because they're not of this world. You know? We're not trying to build a establishment in society to try to do away with the generation curses. The only way the generation curse is going to get off of us Israelites, us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, is when our Lord Yahuwah Shai, Lord, will come deliver us, man. And all the curses that we go through is going to be placed upon our enemies. The heathen nations, Esau, Moab, Ammon, Ishmael, Ham, you know.
Therefore said Yahuwah, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
Yes, so the Lord's going to avenge us of our adversaries, man. For all the people that had done us wrong in the past, at your job, people, you know, these heathens look at you like you ain't shit. The Lord said, you heathens ain't shit, man. You're nothing but a spittle. You know? Looking at you just because you go to this high level school, guess what? What the Lord say, man? The Lord said that the wisdom of this world is foolishness with him, man. You know, the Lord ain't done with these fucking heathens, man. You know? And you're gonna find that out soon. You know? Yahuwah Shema Shah is gonna raise the lowly, man. What he's doing right now is spiritually, but physically, man. They're gonna be as tabernacles of David. King David was killing all you heathens, man. King David wasn't showing mercy on Edomites like Saul did, man.
Alright, this Isaiah 19. In 19, in that day shall there be an altar.
And what's that day? That day is happening now, right before your eyes, man. These people is seeing this possibly fulfilled right now.
It says, in that day shall there be an altar to Yahuwah in the midst of the land of Egypt.
Right, and what's the altar? The altar are these camps. Because the altar in the ancient world, the Levite, the priest, will offer up sacrifices to atone for their sins. So that same fashion is happening today. We're making our bodies a living sacrifice out here on the highways and byways, because any day we can be killed out here. It's been accounts, a few brothers in the truth have been killed on the highways and byways, man. But guess what? The worst is gonna follow them. We're not doing this in vain, Akim. We have hope, you know?
It says, in that day shall there be an altar to Yahuwah in the midst of the land of Egypt.
Right, the land of Egypt is America, man. You know? Because Egypt is where, in ancient Egypt, that's where all the Israelites, all 12 tribes collectively was getting oppressed in Egypt, in ancient Egypt. The same thing with America, man. You know? It's a high concentration of Israelites in America, Babylon the Great. Hence is why it's going to be that great deliverance in America, Babylon the Great.
In a pillar at the border thereof to Yahuwah.
And we're literally at the border thereof, you know, on the highways and hedges. As Yahuwah Shai gave us commandment, go out on the highways and hedges and bid them to the marriage. Who is it them? The elect. The marriage is when our Lord Yahuwah Shai come make a second day of meetings, return, and deliver the elect, and they're going to be joined together again, man. You know?
Bridegroom and the bride.
Yep.
Verse 20. And it shall be for a sign.
And this is a sign. Whenever the Lord would send his prophets out on the highways and byways, that was a sign that destruction of that kingdom is coming fast, man. You know? See, you people think that what we're doing is laboring in vain. You know, we're just gonna be, this is just another fad what we're doing. No. This thing is of Yahuwah Shema Shai. If it be of men, it would have come to naught. This haven't came to naught, man. Even though Esau has tried to infiltrate the truth, which he has, but guess what? You know, the gates of hell shall not prevail. You know? The gates of hell represents Esau, Edom, and you're not gonna prevail against the truth, man. The house of David. That's right. You know?
Alright. Verse 20, and it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahuwah of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto Yahuwah because of their oppressors.
Yep. And we sign and cry because of the oppressors. Because why? Because when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. So mourning is synonymous with crying. You know, sometimes brothers actually cry. You know, dealing with hell in this truth, man. We labor, we have no rest. Our woman is harlots and hoes, out of order. Children are rebellious against the elderly and against, you know, just in general. You know, we subject to payments. We earn our money is filled with a bag of hoes. You know, we can never save nothing in here. You know, because of the inflation, man. You see?
Alright, I want to get something real quick. I want to get something today because it's prophesied that this devil will wear out the saints.
Yeah. Yep. That's right, man. We definitely worn out, man. You know, brothers is tired of working. You know, and Esau just don't give a fuck, man. He gonna work the saints to death.
This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Yep.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Right, the saints are the Israelites. You know?
And the things that he speaks, it says here, he he shall speak great words. You know, through Esau, Edom's rulership, we have seen the pride in the hearts of these devils. You know, as far as them going to, you know, so-called going to the moon, all right, setting say it again? Setting their nest amongst the stars, ruling over the children of Israel, you know, occupying the land of Palestine, all right? Talking about their plans in 2050. I just read an article about how they gonna, you know, the children is gonna be phased out, and by the 2050, all the children is gonna be in the metaverse. You know, and just stuff like that just showcases the pride in these devils. You know, they thinking they're gonna accomplish their enterprise, all right, and that they're gonna establish their NWO. Now knowing that the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. You know, that the man's goings is of the Lord, how then shall he understand his own way? And then Esau, he comes out with his own science, his pseudoscience, all these damn books about chemistry and biology and all that, just completely just pushing the Most High to the side, man. You know, saying that he got this great military, who gonna bring him down? That's the pride in these devils.
And the Lord heard all them words you said. The Lord heard all them words and them deeds and actions that you said. You know? Now, your blood's going to be required of you, man. You know? What that rich man said in the Yahuwah parable, I shall build and build up barns and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's the spirit of Esau. Building up his infrastructure, man. But guess what? That same man died instantly, man. And that same man is going to be Esau, is going to be judged when the Lord casts the rod of iron upon him, man. You know, when he think,
Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws.
Yeah, he did that through the Gregorian calendar.
Yeah.
Which is totally off, man.
And then he got the New Year in the middle of winter.
Yep. Leap year.
Yeah.
Daylight savings time.
Yeah, daylight savings time.
And then in this society, a day change at midnight. You know, and according to the Lord's wisdom, our wisdom, you know, an evening it starts a new day. So it says, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand unto a time and a times and a dividing of time. Yeah. So the Israelites will be in the hand of their oppressors for a particular time period, man. But the Lord has given us comfort by way of the scripts to let us know what times and seasons to look for, so that we'll know when our Lord doth make his return, man.
And how Esau had his pride blinding him was he forgot that the Lord was going to have mercy and yet choose Israel. Esau, you Edomites, you leech there, you Rothschild, you forgot about that. See,
well, the Most High is not at all in their thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not gonna remember stuff like that.
Yeah. And that I was gonna say about the Willie Lynch letter.
Yeah.
And those plans, they was prosperous. You know, those plans wasn't talking about Israelites coming up on a high level in the last days. They were just constantly talking about how we're gonna be down, trying to below foot and stuff. So that happened, but the Lord is about balance. The Lord is not gonna leave us just in a destitute situation forever. No, you know.
With an apple of his eye, but like you said, during that time, slavery, Willie Lynch, Jim Crow, all the different oppressions and afflictions that the children of Israel were enduring heavy. You know, like you say here in Daniel 7:25, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. So we were in the hand of Esau, you know, because at the end of the day, the children of Israel as a whole transgressed the law, the statutes, and the commandments. And when you transgress the law, the statutes, and commandments, there's judgments that comes with that. We don't want to put you in slavery. You know, another one is that we will be the tail and our enemies will be the head. So these nations, which are our enemies, will be on a high level and will be, at the ass end. But see, the average so-called black man, they don't have that comfort. They don't have that understanding. They still don't think that Babylon the Great, which is America, this is a place that they can be prosperous in. And like you was talking about, you can get your black opulence and your black wealth. You can start your so-called black business, and as long as you follow the guidelines and eat up the breadcrumbs that these so-called white people left you, you can kind of figure it out here.
You always want to be labeled as a category.
Yeah.
In the eyes of Esau, man. You're just gonna be a rich nigga with money.
Yeah.
It's like you had a house slave and a field nigga, man.
Yeah.
House nigga and a field nigga. House nigga had all the opportunities, all the the gimmicks and stuff, eat right and stuff. But the field nigga, he just had, work.
It's out there.
Yeah. So it's no same today. It's just modernized, man.
I think I just they showed on Facebook when it's so-called Israelites that so-called Negro that's one Native American. I would say Negro-wise, Israelites mixed that on the hood, and it says specific city they call it black excellence. It's black excellence made out the hood. It's really a BS, man. The brother been going into this society about to be shut down anyway. So that black excellence, just like when that pandemic happened, everything was shut down, man. You didn't have crowds in stadiums, man. You just had the players there. So you had pay-per-view, whatever the case may be. But all this stuff is about to be shut down, whether you make it out the hood or not, whether you're this or that, man. That black excellence is gonna go out the window, man.
Yeah, because the Lord ain't dealing with no damn black. Right. You understand? The Lord dealing with the Israelites. So I got this in Ecclesiastes 4:1. So I return to consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold the tears of such as were oppressed.
Yeah, and that brother was just us. It was King Solomon wrote Ecclesiastes, and King Solomon, he was a prophet too,
It says, and they had no comforter.
Yeah.
And on the side of their oppressors, there was power. But they had no comfort.
Yeah, and that applies now to 2/3 of our people. They don't got the comfort right now. Even though the comforter is being set right before you, you despise it, man. The scripture's talking about fools hate knowledge, But we got the comforter, man.
John 14:6. Did you have something, brother?
Because, we all catch hell, which that's a token that the Lord is dealing with us when we catch hell in the truth, And but at the end of the day, we got the comfort to know that this is not going to be forever, man.
And the time of the wicked is short.
Yeah.
I got John 14:26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, says goes here, it's the Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things that will come.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. Now, when you go to the word he, it's not talking about he as an actual man. It's talking about it. It's it, which is the spirit of truth. The word, man.
It says, he or it shall teach you all things.
Yeah. And it taught us how to understand the Holy One that you know all things. And it taught us the truth, man. Of course, it was revealed unto men. Abba Bivens and, High Priest Ariel, High Priest Yahuwah, King Masha, and to our apostle, Elder Great Millstone, it was revealed unto the mysteries and secrets of the scriptures, man. The breakdowns and stuff, and what we have now, because we didn't come up with this on our own. We acknowledge our teachers, man. Our apostle, Elder Great Millstone, is the true man that we believe through faith the Lord has set in the earth to feed us his truth, man.
It says, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I have said unto you.
It said in remembrance. Because it said in Jude, the first chapter, was in the chapter, that I would therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this. So we knew this truth one point in time. If he had this truth now, that means we had it in our past life.
Yeah.
You know, because
Wisdom return unto you.
yeah. Yep. And the spirit of prophets is subject to the prophets. You know?
Yeah.
But I got an article on it's a
I'm bro, why my was holding a couple
I got this article from Make It. It says nearly 70% of Americans are looking for extra work to combat inflation. You know? It says 70%, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Why? Because a lot of people, their rent is skyrocketing due to the inflation, man. You know? And that spirit, it's gonna intensify that prophecy of the love of many wax the cold.
Yeah.
People gonna start stealing which it's already happening, but it's gonna be more common. You know?
Yeah, because people is gonna be fed up, man.
Yep.
You know, here it is. You got your full-time job, you're working 40 hours, right? And they begging you to do OT, working on your off day. Then, you know, you may pick up an app-based job. You may do Uber Eats or whatever. You know, and it's only so many hours in a day. And then you got to rest. And then we know these women is off the chain. So here it is. You bending over backwards and you working, putting in all this work. You find out your woman, she dealing with some guy on the side because she have determined that you can't make any time for her because you've been working so much. You know, just imagine being in the world right now, right? You working and shit, holidays coming up. You know, you don't want to let the kids know that, you know, the mom and dad is struggling. So you working more. You know, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You want to make things appear normal at home. You know, so you just getting the shit worked out of you. All while your woman, she on Facebook all day. She got this new nigga she talking to. You know, and you just bugging out. There's actual testimonies of guys coming out here and they're saying that, man. You know, I've been busting my ass for you. You know, come home, it's another nigga in his bed. So the spirit of vengeance is gonna be out on a lot of people, man. You know, these women is finding out that hot girl summer, being strong and independent, you know, having liberty, have done nothing for them but led them into a pit of destruction because now they're identifying that, look, this system, you know, it put a fast one on us and we actually need men. You know, we actually need men. So, I mean, just looking at the spirit of this place, man, things is gonna intensify, man. It's gonna really heat up. And like the brother said, the love of many is gonna wax cold, man. The behavior, the attitude of the people is gonna change. We already seeing people losing their damn patience, man. Add famine to that. Add $7, $8 a gallon gas prices to that. You know? Then the landlord saying, hey, look, you know, next month, extra $100. We gotta go up extra $100 on the rent now. Then add your car breaking down. You go to the mechanic, right? Because with the supply chain crisis, it's causing goods and services to skyrocket or be limited. And a part of goods and services is being able to go to a mechanic to go get your car repaired, right? And these parts, they come from overseas. You got a Japanese car, you got to get them parts from overseas. You know? You got a car that's made in Germany, China, somewhere, Hyundai. You got to get them parts from overseas with the backlogging at the ports. Now you got to wait 2, 3, maybe 4 months to get this small little chip or a transmission. You know? So now you assed out. You got to take the Ubers, the taxis, the cabs, you got to go on a bike. You got all these different things happening, and at the end of the day, Esau and his system, this is what he wants to happen. Don't think, oh man, you know, the politicians, the mayors, the governors, the president, they finna figure it out for us, man. They're not finna have us, man, just dealing with this inflation. They're not gonna have us just out here like that. Not my president. I voted for Kamala Harris. I know she vice president. I know she's gonna come.
And they can't say, the government can't say they don't got money. Because they just sent another $1 billion to Ukraine, man. And you know, weapons and stuff.
Meanwhile, you got niggas laying in the corner and piss and vomit and broke. Now we know that's judgment. Alright? We know that's judgment. But why would you go way across the world sending them money when there's people downstairs from a high-rise apartment laying down and shit? Piss.
That's like you said, they want it like this.
Talking to me.
So it says, a recent article says, despite no changes to their, it says a few months ago, Mike Petrie noticed an alarming pattern. His bank account would get uncomfortably low on the weekends before he get his paycheck, paid bi-weekly, which is 2 weeks, on Wednesdays. Despite no changes to their daily habits, bills for him and his family of 5 skyrocketed. At $120 weekly grocery bill balloons to $200, and a $50 gas tank refill doubled to nearly $100 per top up. A couple of times we had to put our groceries on the Discover card to make sure we have food for the week.
So they racking up correct debt.
Says Petrie, 45, a Louisville detective who works for a credit card processor. He's noticed other essential costs like utility bills have gone up in the last year too. So,
and that's one scenario, right? Suppose one scenario. A lot of people got that same situation going on in their households, man. Energy bills, you know, gas, because you know with this gas situation, gas and oil, that's not just something you put in your car. You know what I mean? Just because the check engine light come on. You know, you need gas, fossil fuel to produce energy to run different things that's in this infrastructure. You know, to generate that electricity. That goes back to electricity distribution center. You know, and there's particular things that's built within it that requires oil in order for it to operate. So if the oil gets high, then DWP, Edison, whatever, you know, electrical company, you know, city, right? They gotta require that from you. They gotta require that, you know, extra money. So imagine paying you was paying $60, $80 a month on electricity. Now it's $250, $300 now. On top of, you know, you went from paying $100 a week on gas to now you're paying $175, $180 on gas.
That's why a lot of people are on solar, you know, their electricity and stuff. I got a coworker who's like, yeah, man, my electricity bill, even with the AC on the whole summer, $10, man.
Yeah, that's technology that the Egyptians were using. Solar technology, you know, because you get energy and power from the sun, man. That's why they worship the sun. Because, you know, they were able to use it for their benefits. You know, but see, we dealing with the wicked. So the wicked, he's gonna get all these different things of the earth that was made for the service of man, use it against man, and oppress him with it and put a price tag on it.
Exactly.
Like water.
Yeah. That's pride, because you acting like you created the elements. You know, that's ultimate pride. I got a precept. Sirach 39:26. The principal themes for the
I was literally just looking at that.
It says the principal themes for the whole use of man's life are water. First thing it said water. 70% of your body, 70% of the earth is water. It says our water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of grape, and oil, and gold.
Now that's the spiritual meaning to those, you know, that represents the truth, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, the breath of life. You know, it's synonymous to water, bread, you know, the bread of life, the fruits of living water, the clothing, you want to be clothed with the armor of truth, you know, and the house to cover your shame, which is your body.
So all these are principal things, and when you look at the word principle, it means person, order of a person, means. So these elements are very important, you know, in order for necessities, so you can sustain yourself in your daily life, man. You know, and a lot of people, when all hell breaks loose, they don't realize that all these elements is gonna be worth it, you know. Because it's saying that you don't appreciate the things when they're gone. So when people start losing these elements in the earth, they're gonna appreciate it, you know.
Yeah, see, and in times to come, they're not going to be worried about wearing Christian Dior and Louis and Gucci and, you know, having the latest and greatest technology and gadgets and all that shit. The infrastructure ain't going to be working for you to be able to use that, you know. That's why we push repentance and converting and worshiping the true power and calling upon His name in sincerity and truth. Because all the different things that this world push out that you need is not going to be beneficial in the day of the Lord's wrath, man.
That's why the scripture's talking about being content.
Yeah, because the times that we entered into, man, you want to have less as possible.
Yeah, you don't want to have too much. That spirit can help only like when that time comes to forsake it, you'll be like, damn, I don't want to, you know, leave it.
On my bike, man. Man, this bike, I got sentimental value on this beach cruiser.
All right. So it's a reason why, what you done wrong with having nice things, you know, with, you know, brothers like jewelry and stuff, ain't nothing wrong with that, but don't have your heart into that, because once you start getting those things, you know, you'll start to, when that time comes to forsake it, you're not gonna want to do it. It's gonna be like a form of stumbling block to you.
It'll be hard for you to detach.
Yeah.
Because he puts all this, because America is a great consumer country. And that consumerism vibration is pushed heavily. Every time you look at YouTube, you know, it's a damn commercial talking about how much you need this and that, how you need to buy this and that, you know? But see, with the truth, all we need is the truth, man. The comforter, like we read in John 14.
Scriptures say, love not the world. So
Yeah.
easily to detach when you listen to the truth.
Because the scriptures speak about becoming a pilgrim, a vagabond. Well, a pilgrim, you know, but a pilgrim, yeah, all they own is the stuff that they got on their backpack or a little sack, you know, so it's limited to certain things.
I was saying that you're moving from pillar to post.
Yeah. So, you know, you want to start developing, you know, that type of mindset, man. Just getting up, because I mean, that's how we had it when we were in the wilderness. You know, it was a chariot, so-called UFO, over the tent of the tabernacle, which it was a movable tent. You know, we were able to break it down, you know, build it back up. But when the chariot moved, we had to pack up all our shit and leave right with it.
Yeah.
And wherever the chariot stopped, that's where we would continue, you know, our dwelling in the wilderness.
Hebrews 13:5. Hebrews 13:5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as you have. For he have said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee.
And those are words that our Lord, Yahuwah, Bashim Al-Shai gave us, man. Because at the end of the day, the Lord gives you the things that you need. This is Ecclesiasticus.
Yeah, because even during our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they sojourned in tents. You know, so, you know, it does say our forefather Abraham was rich in cattle and gold and silver and stuff, but we was outdoorsmen,
Yeah.
which was made us manly, man. Knowing about, you know, certain things, how to make, build a tent,
Yeah.
you know.
And
So we come from a history, from a heritage of that, you know.
And I was gonna say, you know, while we have, you know, liberty right now, you know, use your downtime, you know, learn how to start a fire, learn how to pitch a tent, you know. If you don't know how to cook, learn how to cook. If you don't know how to use a barbecue pit, know how to use a barbecue pit. You know? That altar that the priest was sacrificing, you know, lambs and all that stuff, that was like a big ass barbecue pit, man. You know, they would roast it, you know, whatever animal with fire. They would burn the inwards, you know, consume it with fire. You know, and it was a sweet savor unto the Lord.
You can build an altar with rocks.
Yeah.
As long as the rocks is not like polished, like you know, when the people,
You know, cut them.
yeah, cut them, yeah. As long as you don't cut them, you know.
Yeah, so, you know, get in the habit of, you know, knowing particular things, you know. Now, we know Esau the wicked, but, you know, when they young, they was Boy Scouts. They was doing, you know, certain things in the woods, fires and fishing and all that type of stuff. You put a nigga in the woods, man, that nigga is going to be through, man. But the Lord have put that spirit out, brothers, though, you know, are into the oils. Like the brother, he burning Palo Santo, all right? Different herbs, different medicines that, you know, that you can learn about so you can heal yourself. And that's just going into detaching from this place.
Yeah, Esau teaches you as far as medicinal-wise, go to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to. There's plenty of stuff like I know brothers took them to. It's healed them naturally because it's naturally from Yahuwah Shemashai, things from the earth, like the scriptures say.
This is Ecclesiastes 11 and 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come from the Lord.
Yeah, because the Lord controls everything in your life, man. Not one sparrow can drop to the ground unless the Lord sanctions it. So, whatever you're going through, the Lord knows. He sanctioned it for that to happen.
It says, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Lord. Love and the way of good works are from Him, and that's you know, your power to know, because that keeps you from being prideful. You know, because this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding was given unto us. This is not something that we were just so good at and we were skillful. You know, the Lord gave us that.
You got this is another article, News Target. It says Walmart, major U.S. retailers are canceling orders as consumer demand plunges. You gotta ask yourself that. Why are they doing it?
What did it say?
It says Walmart, major U.S. retailers are canceling orders as consumer demand plunges.
Oh yeah. Because what happens is with the backlogging at the ports, you know, certain periods of time it'll clear, not clear up, but they'll get abundance of those orders in. You know, they'll get a shipment in of, you know, 1,000 flat screen TVs, 65 inches. But it's like, look, our warehouse is only so small. The back is only so big. So in order for us to get these 1,000 65-inch TVs out the way, we either got to price them very low so people will buy them, or just reject them. You know, because what's happening, people's not buying the TVs, they're not buying the laptops, they're not buying all that shit. So why would we store up this Walmart with so many of these goods if nobody's buying them? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cancel them. Ain't nobody buying TVs. Why I need to fill up the storehouse with a whole bunch of TVs taking up space that I can be using for something else that people are buying, we're gonna cancel it out.
It says Michael Snyder of the Economic Collapse blog site said that this does not make any sense at all, especially now that the world has eased out pandemic restrictions. The holiday season is typically the busiest time of the year for retailers, and at this time in 2021, there was actually a great deal of concern that there wouldn't be enough inventory due to global supply chain problems. Snyder said in a blog entry, all of a sudden major retailers are fervently canceling orders, and this will only make sense if a severe economic downturn was implemented.
Yeah, because they looking at the data, because he collects data. He uses these supercomputers to get all this information, and that's how he's able to run his businesses. So with the data that they're getting, they seeing as inflation, people spending money at home, and when we say at home, going into bills, the basic necessities. See, when the pandemic hit, a lot of people was at home. A lot of people had to work from home. So in order to make it comfortable at home, they had to go out and get, since I'm at home now, let me go ahead and get a 65-inch TV. Since I'm gonna be at home watching TV more, let me go get the bigger TV. Oh, since I gotta use my laptop more because I'm working from home, let me go get the better laptop. Let me go get a better couch since I'm at home more, sitting on the couch. So people was going out buying shit. And a lot of people, when it was closed down, a lot of people wasn't going out, a lot of people wasn't traveling, a lot of people wasn't doing certain things, so they had money in their pockets. So when the restrictions was lifted, they went out buying shit. That was going on in 2021. But now look, a year later, it's inflation now because of the stimulus checks, all that shit was being passed out. Now the dollar is weak, so it requires more dollars to buy the stuff that you got to buy. And with inflation, like I said, energy costs, gas, all these different things, people are spending money on shit that they need. Food is high, so on and so forth. So people ain't buying the little bullshit let's go get a new basketball court.
And not to mention, the price of gold and silver is going up as inflation rises, man.
Yeah.
Because gold and silver is really real currency. Now it's not backed by anything. But gold and silver, that's real currency. So that's why you're starting to see gold and silver go up so much.
And people was getting hip to that whole cryptocurrency and the NFTs and all that. People was like, look, I need something tangible. This internet money, this digital fake internet money, I need actual gold and silver and shit in my hand.
Yeah. It says, analysts say this is a replay of a strategy used at the start of the Wuhan, C-19 pandemic. So they were doing the same thing. So, because Joe Biden just came out and said that the pandemic is over last week. So, pandemic too. I ain't talking about the Marburg, virus, and the monkeys and stuff. So, they know that this wasn't enough in order for people to submit unto Esau.
Yeah.
They did their trial run with the vaccination, and a lot of people was killed. A lot of people was killed, for taking the vaccines. But it's gonna have to take something greater in order for them to usher in the MOTB. You see? You get that? Because the infrastructure of the MOTB is already here. 5 years ago, 2017, it was a store in Wisconsin called Three Square Market. They were the first company to C-hip their employees. So that infrastructure is already here, but they just need that great cause and effect in order for them to push it, man. And And a lot of people already know what the MOTB is. So that's why it's going to be so hard for them to push it, hence why they won't come down the great route. You know?
It's Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all both small and great, rich
Right.
and poor.
Now the he are the least of Esau, the one that rule the world in darkness and wickedness. You know, which are these. Yep. Voila. Which are these people. You know? Now these are just a handful, you know, because who knows, there might be people over them. You know? But, you know, as far as the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, you know, these are the people the earth is given to the hands of wicked. Scripture says that, it's talking about these people, the Edomites, the so-called white race. You know?
And it says,
So they're gonna cause all, right? Them people, the least of Esau.
I'm gonna look up that word cause real quick about the shot.
and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right. Now the word mark in the Greek is paragma, which means an incision. Because in order for them to insert the C-hip in you, they have to make a decision by way in your flesh through a syringe to implant the C-hip in you. You know?
I got the word cause in the Greek. It's io. It says to make. When you go to the entry G, it says constitute or appoint one thing, to appoint or ordain one thing.
Yeah.
So there's going to be laws. You know, there's going to be something that's constitutional. There's going to be laws. It's going to be decrees. It's going to be decrees. It's going to be legislation. And that if you ain't got this, you won't be able to participate in this new financial system. You're pretty much going to be shut out of the world. You ain't going to be able to, you know, hop on a bus, take a plane somewhere, you know, have an apartment, have a car. Because, you know, with your car, you got to, you know, make sure your tags is, you know, registered and up to date. And if you ain't able to go to the DMV and be able to buy or sell, buy a tag for your car, you ain't going to be able to operate your car.
The way it's looking with all these Teslas and electric cars, you might not be able to get in your car.
That's pretty that's Tesla. The owner of Tesla, Elon Musk. You know, he has that technology with the Neuralink technology, man, to implant the C-hip in people's brains in order for them to function properly. You know, to download data, like the Matrix. You know?
I mean, honestly speaking, why would you want to? Why would you want to be so tapped into the system? Just think about work. You know, it's some jobs where you gotta have a key code to get in.
And sometimes that malfunctions.
Yeah, sometimes that should be down. You gotta have a key code to get in. Then you get the laptop, you gotta put the little company code in. You know? And then if your laptop sleep and log you off, now you gotta go back in there, then you gotta, come on now. Why would you want to just be tapped into a system like that?
Then you go to the grocery store, then they can malfunction. You can't buy your groceries.
Then you gotta do the walk of shame.
Elon Musk, I read an article, they were talking about the drill. He plans on having it accessible, you know, like one of those like stores that's accessible. You pay like $5 or something like that. At first, is to, you know, have a spot. It'll probably gonna be like something like one of these CVS or something like that. Where you can go in there, hey, I want that, and it'll no, it's like a specific machine that'll just implant it in your head for you, type stuff. Like the brother said, why would you want that? Like, why would you even consider getting that implanted in your head?
That spirit's not upright in him.
And they're gonna make it look good too.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're gonna have Shaquille O'Neal having it. They're gonna bring all these old retired Negroes that was good back in the day promoting it.
There's gonna be benefits and incentives. Trust me.
We'll have Jay-Z, Drake
Yeah.
promoting it.
They
Because them
gonna
is
put
high
it in rap
level.
songs.
Yeah, them high level celebs among Jake. So, like you always say, they just reserve them niggas. They didn't use them for the during C-19. You know,
They got a greater plan.
yeah, so they're gonna use that, you know, for when I MOTB be push. You know?
It says, verse 16, and he caused all both, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
Yes,
the name or something.
yeah. So without the mark, you're not gonna be able to buy or sell anything. You're gonna be off the grid. You know, you're gonna be labeled as a outcast. You know, which ultimately, that's really gonna be applied to us. You know, being outcast because Lord only out by small child keep the spirit on us to no matter what not to take it. You know? And we believe by faith the Lord got us. You know? Good.
It says,
Oh, can you look at that word forehead? I'm gonna get that word. Now, Marcus Zuckerberg, he just changed Facebook to Metaverse. And man, Apostle bought this out. You know, he can't make this up, man. You know?
Now, forehead goes back to the Greek word metapon.
See, Metapon. Metaverse, Facebook. You know?
And when you go into the etymology of metapon, it goes back to meta, which means with, after, or behind.
Yeah, so, you know, they gonna put that
And what's behind, you know, your forehead? That's your brain.
your brain, yeah. So, can't make that up, man. And Mark Zuckerberg, he just a lower luminary, lesser luminary, man, for the elites.
Yeah.
You know, so he's on board with that too. You know, and he's worth billions, but he got caught selling information and stuff.
Yeah, because going back to what we said earlier, there's Esau and these supercomputers. He got all this data from. We know nothing is free in this world. So when you download Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, it's free because you're exchanging data. What those apps do is it downloads a profile of the things that you search, you know, the stuff that you watch. The phones, they listen to you. You know, you can say, man, I want some pizza, I want some beef pepperoni pizza, whatever. All of a sudden, it's ads for, you know. When we went to go get the oxtails, all of a sudden I'm seeing oxtail recipe. Like, come on, man.
They listen. That's why on their computers, they will put tape on the cameras, front cameras, because they can watch the cameras.
Oh, you can catch me. Man, try. It's an effort. Yeah, it's an effort.
That's the deep like the whole
Right. She don't wanna be.
Oh, it's not nice. Yes, I mean, she said it.
Hey, have going in that time. A man gonna be like that, but if you ain't, you gotta be coming out getting artistic. But anyway,
Doing that bare minimum, that's going to be done away with real soon.
No. The Lord ain't looking for no bride, his bride to be doing that. You feel me?
I'll be like them being lukewarm.
Putting the talent in the napkin, man. You supposed to be out here praising. We, to the brothers on the camera, we just saw something spiritual. You know? But you gotta be putting in some effort, man, if you really want something. She didn't really want it.
Right.
You feel me? The Lord ain't dealing with that type of spirit, man.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta want this truth, man. You gotta want salvation. You gotta want the mercy, man. We already got the the scripts on how things is going to be playing out in the very near future. You know, the up and coming weeks and months, the very near future. You know, hear this shit happening and you just...
Yeah, that's the spirit of Jake. Remember that one time, it was that camp, that Jake came at camp, he was like, y'all teach right here? He knew about the doctrine, you know? But you've never seen him after that. So that spirit is active in Israel of, not hastening to repent and do the work, man. Tarian, you got Ecclesiastes 5:7?
I got it. Ecclesiastes 5:7.
Yeah, perfect.
You don't want to be, because cats like him, he's going to be, I mean, Lord willing, you know, if he is of the elect, you know, I mean, yeah, the spirit.
Yeah.
But if he don't, he going to be, when all hell break loose, all there was over here. You know, he going to be running from sea to sea, from the north even to the east, to find the word of the Lord and shall not find it, man. This is Ecclesiastes 5,
People
right?
seen that sign, she was all laughing.
We want them to see it. We want them to see that sign. Because when we see y'all, we throw curses on y'all. When we seeing all that type of activity in the movies, every time you sit down and watch a movie, you kick your feet up, you get disturbed because of the alphabet community. It takes away your comfort, man. And then you sighing and crying for all the abominations. It's like,
that was like a sign, because she was just smiling and stuff. As soon as she seen that sign, she frowned up. There's a scripture like that. It says the change of the countenance, the change of the heart.
Because you know what? This Caesar Borgia, that's a covering for them. That's liberty to them, because Caesar Borgia, it don't matter if I'm a faggot or gay. It don't matter if I'm homo. Jesus loves me. You know? And I said Jesus. But this Ecclesiastes what? 5? 5 to 7. For in the multitude of dreams, that was it.
That was rock.
Kind of like the new spot, man. It takes a second. You know, whenever you move and relocate, it takes a second to. You know, because you gotta determine the spirit. It's the spirit, like.
Some things you get into it, it'd be rough at the start.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah, it work itself out.
Like the dope.
Oh yeah.
He went to slavery.
Yeah.
It was I'm a slave.
Yeah.
And it worked out to be. It turned out to be good in his favor. You know?
Yeah. You gotta, you know, when you presented with certain things, you know, you may be, you know, discomforted because you don't know how things will work out. You don't know how things will pan out. But as long as you be still and know that I am Yahuwah, as it is written, you know. Let me actually, I'm gonna get your precept and I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, that's like
Can you find that while I read this? This Ecclesiastes 5 verse 7, make no tarrying to turn to Yahuwah, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
Yeah,
And
so you don't want that priesthood to be applied to you, man. You don't want to make Taryn to turn to the Lord. You don't want to be putting the Lord on the back burner, man. You know, now the Lord comes first. You know?
and perish in a day of vengeance.
Yeah, so that can happen to you, man. Because ultimately, if you know about the truth, when you hide your talent in a napkin, the Lord can see that and He can destroy you like that.
Or you got that slothful spirit like we just saw with that damn woman.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
She don't want to cry out, you know? She don't want to cry out to get deliverance. Because that's basically what that was.
Nice.
And the scriptures say that the slugger will not plow on the cold.
It's because they're gonna excuse. Oh, it's cold.
Or it also says the slugger will not go out when the lion is without outside.
Yeah, so they're hearing the rumors and shit. Oh yeah, this and that. Oh, I ain't going on there. Alright,
Psalms 46:10.
Now we bringing this out just because a lot of spiritual things, we're seeing spiritual things, we're making it here. Today we have to go to a new spot just because somebody is buying and selling in our spot. So, you know, we just look at it as, look, man, you got to be ready to move. You got to be ready to make moves on a dime, unexpected. You know, if you got to move over here, you just got to, you know, you got to do it, man.
Spirit like the wind.
And we're going to roll with the spirit. We didn't wake up in the morning saying, you know what? I think we're going to be teaching on Western and Wilshire today. Right next to Denny's. Right next to the famous Will Turn, what is this shit? Theater. You know? But this is a prime example of how you gotta, number one, use Lord willing. And number two, man, go out to the Lord, man. And with any transition in your life, whether you're moving, whether you're getting a new job, shit, whether you're even getting another car, there's always a period of uncertainty. You know, there's always a little period of uncertainty in there that'll cause you to be, you know, indecisive, you kind of don't know. You know, just like coming here, it's like, man, we don't know what kind of spirits over here. You know what I mean? We don't know what the people is over here. Now, we will say there's more Edomites. There's more Edomites over here. Y'all brothers see that?
Yeah.
There's more serpents in the death adder, the dragon, the young lion is over here. Basra. You know, but we got to understand that at the end of the day, the Lord got us.
Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I am Yahuwah.
At the end of the day, you got to be still, man. You got to just be patient. Be still, be patient, and just see how the Lord works things out, man.
It says,
good propaganda, huh?
I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth.
Man, them is serpents right there.
Yeah.
Them is serpents right there.
Them will snipe
Man,
you.
you got your boys over here. Yeah, we got your boys over here. What's up?
Them type of Edomites got the spirit of Cain.
Yeah.
Them type of Edomites, those your bosses at work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell when an Edomite is an Edomite.
And they had to double take. You know what I'm saying? They had to actually take a double take. They was going to Denny's, but like, you know what?
Let me phrase that. You can tell when an Edomite, you can tell what type of Edomite that hate you.
Yeah.
You can really tell those types. You know, it's some of them you can't sometimes, but some, you know for sure, they hate Jake. It says, verse 11, the Lord Yahuwah hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge to lie.
See, and going into this time of trouble, these are the scriptures that you got to read and keep in to comfort you, man.
Internalize.
You got to internalize that. See, the way you believe in the Lord, like it say in John 7, verse 38, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So you got to believe on the Lord according to what the scriptures have said, and that's how you build up your faith. Ultimately, you pray and you ask for that, right? So when we understand it pursuant to Isaiah 33:6, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Well, we know the wisdom is talking about the comforter, the spirit of truth. So when we, bring out certain precepts, it's for our benefit, not only for the listeners, but for us. Can we get that? The God of Jacob is on our side. Say loud. You gotta know that the God of Jacob, which his name is Yahuwah, by Hashem Yahushua, is with us, man.
This is
David had to believe that. David had to believe that Yahuwah by Hashem Yahushua was with him. Going and fighting against the Philistines and all the various nations that came up against us. David had to believe that the Lord was delivering these nations in his hands.
Psalms 46:7. The Lord Yahuwah hosts is with us.
It's with us. Host, what does that mean? It goes back to the Hebrew word tazabah, which is armies. The angelic forces, man.
That reminds me when that account with Elisha, his servant Gehazi was like, frantic and stuff, scared because of the Assyrians that was coming, you know. And then
Serious was mighty too, man.
yeah. And a lot. Listen, he was like, "Be not afraid of them, for there are many. The Lord's there are many with us more than it is that they got.
more with us than it is that.
Yeah, and
he was being spiritual. He was talking about the spiritual realm.
yeah. And it said, the Lord opened up the eyes of Gehazi and seen chariots.
Oh man. But see, you want to already believe that, you know? Because what the Lord Yahuwah say? A wicked and perverse generation seeking for a sign. You don't want to be like, oh Lord, please send me a sign. I need you to show me something right now, and then I'll believe. You gotta already, know internally that the power is with you.
I was with you if you read this book. This is Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
And it says whatsoever is written aforetime. So you got to be reading the different accounts of our forefathers. And what type of fruits of the spirit that they displayed. You know, how did they deal with certain situations when they was up against their enemies? You know? Let me read how David prayed. Let's see how he prayed. And I want to add that style to my prayers.
You want to know how the three made it out of that fire?
Yeah. Let me reread about Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego.
There you go. You want to know about how Daniel did with the lions.
Yeah, let me read about Daniel. Certain men.
They boosters.
You know, for you sisters too, there's stuff for the comfort of the sisters too. Susanna, Judith, Esther. You know, there's certain things that you can read to build you up. You know, because what was it, Susanna? You know, the wicked elders brought up a false accusation about her, and how she was, the false accusation was. She was basically a harlot, man, giving it up on the low. You know, but what she do? She stood her ground.
That was a woman.
That was a real woman.
She believed in Yahuwah.
That was a daughter of Sarah. Yeah. Whose daughters ye are if you continue in the faith. So you want to make sure that you get these stories. You don't want to just be, like I say, enduring in the outward appearance. You get on the woman now. Edomites, they just out the blue just turn into me.
That's the natural caveman still.
Yeah. This is First Timothy chapter 2, verse start at 9. In like manner also that the women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety.
Yeah, wearing dresses, not wearing pants, things that pertain to a man. Head coverings.
Because those articles of clothing, it produces a certain spirit, man. You know, when a woman throw on a t-shirt and jeans and the boots, she already come in that alpha masculine woman spirit. Man. You know. Now we know we in a society that's, you may not have the means to change the whole wardrobe, but for the sake of truth, articles of clothing, it puts a certain spirit on you. Let's believe when these cops, when in the morning, when they take off the dad clothes, the New Balances and the cargo shorts or whatever, and they put on that police outfit, they're a whole nother person, man. You know, that's no longer Scott Smith. You know, he's deputy so and so. You know.
Yeah, because woman's supposed to wear clothes that complements their femininity.
Yeah.
You know. So if you wearing shit like you said, if you wearing man apparel, then that'll make you masculine.
Yeah, it's a certain spirit that comes with that, man. Yeah. There's a spirit in everything. It says the Lord incorruptible spirit is in all things, man. It's a spirit in everything.
And pants got zippers. that rise.
Yeah, a woman putting on cargo fatigue,
Yeah.
cargo fatigue pants. You understand?
And it make they shit funky.
Yeah.
By wearing tight ass pants or leggings. You're supposed to breathe, man.
Yeah, that's why they box be funky. Little
Cause
tarts.
yeast infections.
Yeah. And then they diet too. But continuing on in 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9, in like manner also that the women adore themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness. Being humble.
Not looking at a man pridefully in his face.
Looking at a man trying to challenge them, trying to challenge them. I got this car. If articles of clothing put certain spirits on you, imagine the car. Bitch pull up in the Ford F-150 lifted up with the tires and shit on. Lamborghini.
Woman not supposed to be driving any damn way, let alone that.
It says sobriety. It's talking about being. You want to. You don't want to be drunken out here. But most importantly, it's talking about not being drunken with the cares of this life. Being tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine. You just stumbling from over here to over there. And you also see that too. You got women that they be on the GMS comment boards, but then when you will go and spy out what HOI talking about, then she's over there too.
That's really, here's the time about women being busybodies.
That's confusing. She's confusing and selfish.
And sobriety, don't be drunk off that, feminine spirit, man. Because once you're supposed to come in truth, that's the spirit supposed to go. Flee.
You're supposed to flee from wickedness as from the face of the serpent.
Yeah, because with a serpent, you don't care what type of snake it is. You're not going to touch it. You're going to flee from it because you don't know if that serpent is venomous. So, same thing you're supposed to do with wickedness.
It says, not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. And we know that we are a people above all people. We're Israelites. We got flavor, we got salt. So we gonna carry ourselves a certain way. But what it's talking about is it's not all about the outward appearance. You got the hair wraps on, you got the gold, the silver, you got the stones. You got fringe, you got dress on with fringes, and we saw women like that out here.
Yeah. You could be wearing all that, but you could be a witch.
And it came out recently. A brother came out, and he was saying, I don't want no Israelite sisters. I don't want none of y'all. I don't want no women in the truth, because the women in the truth is still dealing with pookies and ray-rays and getting pregnant by them. So you can have, the dress on, and on the back you got daughter Sarah embroidered on there. But it's about the inside, Just like the Lord told Samuel. The Lord don't look at upon man how man see it. The Lord look at upon the heart. So the Lord was worried about the spirit, man. The inward man.
Yeah. And Apostle Paul said in Romans that he's supposed to be a Jew inwardly, not outwardly. They was pushing that spirit too. I was trying to rebuke the Pharisees for that. You wear garments, broad garments. Yeah, but inside you're dead man bones, man.
So church.
Yeah, so it's about the inward man.
Yeah, it was a time I saw a UPS dude. He had fringes coming out of his work shirt at the bottom.
Not no dresses like that.
No, that's not modest.
That's down there. That's a gown.
That's a night.
It's a nightgown.
You're supposed to make something to eat with that on, man. It's a night.
And she got a G-string under that.
She looking for a new one. And well, you finna see a lot of that because as inflation gets higher and higher and cost of living gets ridiculous and people sink further into debt and financial crisis, women is finna be out here on on the highways and the byways too.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna be teaching the word. They ain't gonna be teaching the word though. All right, but continuing on in 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 10. But which becometh women professing godliness with good works. What are the good works? There's an example of Tabitha, also known as Dorcas. And she had much arms deeds. You know, she was a follower of the truth. She was showing up garments, all this type of stuff. So you want to get in that vibration, you know? Learn, you know, while you watching videos and getting built up, learn how to sew. You know, learn how to sew. You know, find a camp, support a camp, drop some water off. You know? See if brothers need new tripods. You know, see if a brother need a pair of shoes or something, you know? That's how you know, show them good works. Yahuwah said in Matthew the 25th chapter, you know,
God has done to these little ones, He has done to me.
Yeah. So, you know, you see them naked and, you know, need certain things, basically.
Yeah, when I need the clothes, you clothed me. When I was in prison, you visited
When
me.
I was hungry, you fed me.
Yeah, because as it's written, righteousness delivered from death. So you want to have some good work stored up. Right? So that goes to something else.
Titus 2:7.
Yeah. All right now.
Titus 2 in verse I'll start at verse 3. It says, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young woman to be sober, to love their husband, to love their children. So that's what
and you kind of see it, see that. You know, there's certain women that come on YouTube, they have their sit downs or whatever. They may not be bringing stuff out in the scripts, and I'm not sure what doctrine they be following, because some of them be having hair wraps. But then they be pushing the vibration of, dealing with one man, not being a city girl, not bouncing from rod to rod. They call it the cock carousel. Right? Not being all out there. You know, pushing the vibration of being feminine and submissive and order. You know, that's what women's supposed to be pushing out amongst other women.
because something that's discreet is highly valuable as opposed to something that's just out there. It's common. It's undervalued. It's no value. Like you always say, you can see you go anywhere and see one with Tyson. Yeah. That's it's devalued.
Right.
But when you see a woman, you know, that's like damn. You're covered up. You know, she's more attractive to you because she's not conducting herself like all these other women.
Yeah, plus the discretion is like mystifying. You like, kind of, it's like, wonderment and shit. Why she ain't all out.
She quiet, she not loud, like the nigga woman. Go to food for less. Nigga woman was talking. Like damn.
Yeah, if you shamefaced and you got modest apparel on and you appear to be quiet and all that, a brother will step to you. In the right way. Yeah. He ain't on no baby, you got some titties. Damn, baby, what's up? Hey, check it out. He'll address you different.
It says to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahuwah be not blasphemed.
Obedient to their own husbands, man. You got women that's married, they got a man, but then they at their sister house, they'll go over there and be obedient. She helping her sister cook and all that shit. But then when she go home, she a demon.
Or she could be obedient when she at work
Oh
to
man,
Esau.
yeah.
But when it comes to you, she don't show none of those characteristics show Esau to you.
No.
You know?
Yeah, women, they be in upright order
Yeah.
when they at work.
It's verse 6, young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded. So, sober meaning keeping your eyes single and not being drunk from all the cares of this life, man. You know, not servitude and being excess and worrying about the cares of this life. Oh, caring about these celebrities, what they got going on. Fuck them.
Yeah, because when you're
You know?
drunk and you really don't, you can't, your spiritual discernment is on an all-time low. When you're drunk, you know what I mean? I'm talking about intoxicated.
Yeah.
You just fucked up. You know, you staggering, people seeing your shame, you vomited on yourself. You know, you shit on yourself. You know, so, you know, you want to produce the vibration of being sober-minded, meaning, you know, your eye being single. Because this is the only thing that you really want to be, you know, focused on, man. Because everything else in the society have failed the so-called Black and Hispanic and Native American man. The relationship with your girl has failed you. Your children, they look at you crazy. They ask you why you don't do birthdays and all that. Why you wasn't at my birthday party? You know? They coming to you talking about some, well, my cousin, her dad celebrate birthdays and all that. So, you know, these worldly relationships is gonna fail you. Now, if you do have a wife and kid and y'all live together, y'all under the same roof, then you know you gotta apply knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to deal with your situation, to deal with your lot. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, you gotta be under the vibration that this is what's important for me. You know?
Yeah.
Following after the way of Yahuwah, following the way of Yahuwah Shai, walking after the path that he left, it's gonna be more beneficial for me in the times that we're entering into than for me just to be in this great proud father. You know, this great family man.
Yeah.
You know? Being an awesome husband. That's not what the Lord looking for, man.
Because everything comes with a cost.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're more invested, if your mindset is more invested in this world, then what's going to be the effect? You're going to lose in the spirit, man. And vice versa. Not vice versa, but if you invest all your time and energy in the truth, guess what? The cares of this life is not going to affect you that much. Well, it's not going to affect you at all. You know, because what's that scripture you read for Homer, Colossians 3?
Walking up and down the street when they see that, they looking at it. Because why are they confounded at us? You know?
Well, right here per se is called gall. We have the nerve.
Yeah, that's my first time seeing that theater. I never seen that.
They used to the 40 ounces of the blinds. Why you ain't doing something else? This neighborhood is pretty, low rent like that, man. There's nothing but bums around here.
It's the reason why the Lord let us over here.
Yeah. Basra.
Colossians 3:1. If you then be risen with Yahuwah Shai, seek those things which are above, where Yahuwah Shai sitteth on the right hand of Yahuwah.
Yeah, so if you in this truth, you want to seek out the spiritual things, man. You know? How can you get closer to Yahuwah Shai? You want to find out what is acceptable in the will of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
This is Matthew 10, and let's see, start at 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother,
division. So you're gonna be at odds with your family once you come in this truth, man. You know? Because you're gonna transform into a new creature. You're gonna be born again, you're gonna transform into a new creature. So the worldly relationships that you had, it ain't gonna be how it was. And that's one of the things you gotta accept coming into the truth.
Verse 36, and a man's foe shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
And with us understanding things like reincarnation, which is biblical, we understand that we have many sons and daughters, man. You know? That one son that you got, you didn't have many sons and daughters, dude. And just because you have a child, that don't mean that child will be saved. You know, Lord willing. And it's many accounts that we can go into of men of the Lord having wicked sons, man. Samuel, Eli, you know, Aaron, his two boys, they didn't do the sacrifice right. The incense. Oh, King David, yeah. So here it is, you trying to be this great father, right? You trying to be this great father, right? Which we ain't got that much longer here anyway. You trying to be this great father, you didn't forsook the truth because you want to be a father, role model and all that. And your son grow up to be a Zion. Dwayne Wade child, man. You grow up to be that.
Yeah, even during the kings, a lot of kings, it's all the northern kingdom kings is wicked. But the kings of Judah, sometimes the father was righteous and the son came wicked, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, because at the end of the day, you can tell your son about, you know, your children about, you know, your Israelite, you know, keep the commandments, but at the end of the day, if they're not elect, the world got them.
Yeah.
So,
and then you got some brothers, every brother don't have a little 5-year-old daughter, a little 5-year-old son. His brothers that got 15-year-old sons. He drill music, you know, he coming back, you know, he got the sack on him. You know?
One of the elders, Indiana,
See? Your son may be a two-spirit, man.
They get up to that age and understanding. They know that.
So it's not your fault. You know, like, nah, that's I mean, I told him a way, like, you know, so.
That's when you gotta work out your own foundation.
And that's the thing about our culture. See, we raised up, we were brought up quickly. You know, 12 years old. We was already working for another Hebrew man, being their servant. By the time we was 19 years old, we had our own substance and stuff. It's not like here, you 18 years old, you're considered an adult. Nah, you were an adult when you're 12 years old, when you start to develop a sperm. So, the age of accountability.
Past a flower age, supposed to have their menstrual cycle. You're a woman now. You're able to bear children. You're able to be a man's wife.
They be the 25-year-olds still living with their dad, parents.
And that nigga's he play the game all day and drink all day. Causing problems in the house, eating up all the food, all that. There's a judgment for them type of cats.
Hey, I got an example of that. Nigga next door live next to me.
Yeah.
Baby boy, what he said.
Oh, man.
I'm at New Dirty House, please.
Oh, yeah.
That was great, man.
It was a good movie. That was a good movie, but it's just an example how Jake is, bro.
But wait a minute, these elites, they see the cursed state that Jake is in, and then they're going to make a movie about it and make millions about off the oppression, capitalizing off the oppression of the Israelites. You know, Friday, whether Ice Cube really produced it or whatever, at the end of the day, he had to use Esau's push it out. So as long as you pushing, y'all in the cursed state, y'all fucked up, y'all bugged out, then y'all can push that. Yeah.
Robbers on people.
That's how they push their agendas on.
But then when you see Edomite movies, it's the sniper.
Yeah.
You know,
American Sniper.
the American Sniper. What's on that fucking movie? Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
You know, he's saving
James
the world.
Bond.
James Bond, saving the fucking world, man.
Yeah.
Verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me.
Now the cross represents your trials, your tribulations, you know, the burdens that you gotta bear in this truth. You know, so what is Yahuwah Shai saying in these verses here? You gotta go and follow after him. You gotta put him first, and everything else goes on the back burner. Because like we read it earlier in Ecclesiastes 12, riches and prosperity and all that come from the Lord, man. Look, if the Lord wanted your family to be comfortable and all that, the Lord will make that happen for you. You know? But if it's not for them, you busting your ass trying to provide this lifestyle for them, it's not gonna work, man.
They never gonna be satisfied.
Oh yeah, then your woman will not be satisfied. You get her the big house in the suburbs somewhere, she's gonna complain about how she don't have the new Benz to go with it. Yeah, I got the house, but I don't have the Benz though. Then you get the car, right? 2 years later, the new model comes out. You know, so you would never satisfy these women. These women are unsatiable creatures, man.
Didn't Apostle Paul speak of that? I'm paraphrasing. He that talk about basically he that lived for his wife, something like that.
Oh yeah. Please wipe me.
Cares for the things of his wife.
Yeah.
That's why, like, it's read through the spirit. You got love your mother, father, sisters, your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Part of me is not worthy of marriage. Because these women, they'll drain you, man. They'll drain you. She'll be wandering around here thinking, oh, you know, if you're not strong-minded and you don't have your eye toward the Lord, man, that's why a lot of these cats out here getting shot down and pockets be flat. Because they give it all to their women, man. You know? Oh, what can I get her? What can I... Meanwhile, she ain't getting you nothing, man.
You hear this, you pouring everything into her, and she ain't pouring nothing in you. Your cup empty. But her cup runneth over.
This is Matthew 5. Matthew 5.
Galatians 6, 17. Henceforth let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahuwah Shai. Now
He didn't have a chip.
Yeah.
Apostle Paul didn't have a chip.
I don't mean he had the chip. That means the marks represent the afflictions, man, that he was catching while being in the truth. Because even Yahuwah Shai said that he was speaking on Apostle Paul. He said that this man shall trouble great things for my sake.
Oh yeah.
You know? So that's what Apostle Paul was doing, man. I mean, he was suffering to catch a hell in the truth.
Right.
You know? Shipwrecks, perils among countrymen, perils among false brethren.
Stripes.
40
saved.
Yep. 5 times.
Death's off.
Yep. In the deep, in the ocean, shipwreck. Twice. Imagine being, because remember, he was traveling throughout Asia Minor, which is modern day Turkey today. And, you know, you already know some of them the ocean was turbulent. You know, even when he got arrested, we read Acts 28 chapter, they was catching hell in that boat, man. Him and that the governor that was over them and stuff. You know?
And then also also imprisonments too.
Yeah. He was in prison with Silas. Silas was one of Apostle Paul's companions in the truth, faith, Israelite. When you read Acts 16th chapter, Silas and Paul, they had went to prison. You know? Because that woman, she was like, that little damsel, she would tell him like, I won't say witchcraft.
She was into
Like
sorcery,
like a medium. Yeah, she was like a medium for like 2 men. You know,
and they was bringing in much game by her too.
Yeah, it was top line, exploited. And she was like, yeah, these 2 men, they are the servants of the Lord. And Apostle Paul rebuked her and stuff. And the 2 men, they started like raising up hell against Apostle Paul and Silas. Like, these men is causing us to be in trouble and stuff, messing up our money and stuff.
Yeah, because just like today, it's a big business. Idols and idol worship and all that, smooth speeches and prosperity and all that. So, when Yahuwah came with the message of truth, he was messing up, the high priest salaries. You understand?
Business is a money changer.
Yeah, right. So when Yahuwah came preaching repentance through him, that cut off animal sacrifices. Because according to the law in Deuteronomy 16:16, 3 times out the year shall all thy males come into to the city which I shall appoint, which is Jerusalem. And they shall, worship me, and they shall not come empty. So it was going to the 3 high holy days. The Passover, which is also known as the Feast of Weeks. Passover, which is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? Then you have the Feast of Weeks, also known as the Pentecost, and then you have the Tabernacles.
Also have Feast of Booths.
Also known as Feast of Booths. So when we came to Jerusalem, alright? Because Acts the 2nd chapter goes into that. About men, Jews out of every country. They came to Jerusalem to hold the Feast of Pentecost. The Pentecost was 50 days after the Passover. So in that, you had to bring, the first fruits of your increase. And those sacrifices was given to the Levites, because the Levites, they didn't have a land that was cut out or severed out for them to dwell in. They dwelled in the valleys, in the suburbs, like in the suburbs of where the children of Israel dwelt. So, their substance was from the sacrifices that was given unto them from the Israelites. So when Yahuwah came preaching, forgiveness of sins, no more animal sacrifices, you were taking away the livelihood from the priests. So of course bear false witness on him. Nah, that ain't the Messiah. He ain't coming yet. Nah, why are y'all believing him? No, y'all gotta keep the commandments. Y'all gotta, So that was the root of their frustration towards Yahuwah's ministry. And then going to Paul, with the situation. Paul, he was furthering the doctrine of Yahuwah, teaching of Yahuwah. So when you have people who was teaching false idols and the Epicureans and the Stoics and these different philosophies and lifestyles that the Israelite foreigners was going after, Yahuwah was preaching. Apostle Paul was preaching Yahuwah, and he was drawing in those scattered Israelites in those different lands to him. So what was happening with all those different philosophies that Jake was into? It was coming to naught, man. Just like today, you got the whole passport bros, you got niggas in the hip-hop world, street culture, niggas with different podcasts talking about relationship, So once this truth start gaining thousands, like we read about how our apostles was experiencing, people's gonna come out of those different podcasts. They're gonna turn to the truth.
Now, this is Romans chapter 8, verse 37. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors from him that loved us. For I'm persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahuwah, which is in Yahushua Mashiach, our Lord. And so, the spirit, like brothers was going into, the trials and tribulation that Paul was going through, these are examples, that through the spirit that nothing, even those specific things, didn't even separate Paul from the love of the Heavenly Father and Son. That's why Paul always expressed that our labor is not in vain, because when you're in this truth, sometimes, you get a demon on you that's like, man, what am I doing this for? Damn, am I really, and you gotta remind yourself, that everything you're going through, look, man, we're more than conquerors through Yahuwah, and nothing, if we're the Lord willing and elect, man, should be able to separate us from the love that the Heavenly Father and the Son had to us. The scheme of troops that's gonna come 4 o'clock in the morning, try to grab us brothers up, guillotines, death. These people out here, the love waxing cold. The have and without, ain't nothing gonna be able to separate us. And these are, like I said, the spirit, Apostle Paul was a great example, man. He went through a lot of things, man. He went through an abundance of things, and he's gonna get a reward on his side for it, man. Just like Lord willing us in our past life, we did what we had to do for the Lord, and our labor is not in vain, and now we're just waiting for the Lord to come back to give us a reward, man. What did it say? Revelation 22. Our reward is with you. Lord, I come with you. Our reward is with you.
This is Revelation 22, verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be.
Yeah, according as his work shall be. That's why we're doing this right now. Like the brother mentioned earlier, we're just doing what we did in our past life, man. Because there's something called reincarnation in the scriptures. You always come back in your same stead. Esau, he puts YOLO, you only live once. You've been on this earth plenty of times, man. That's why a lot of these two-thirds that's out here, hey, we're in the wilderness, man. There were a lot of them Israelites in the wilderness that got killed off, man. A lot of them are the ones that said, hey, let his blood be upon us. We want Barabbas. They're back here today, man. And they're in their same stead and their children are in their same stead too, because they come up against the prophets of the Lord, the men of the Lord, man. Really is the spirit of Yahuwah that dwell in us, man. So when people come at us, or they come at us foul, man, it's not us that they come and foul at, it's that they're coming at foul the Heavenly Father and the Son, man. But the Lord's coming with reward, man. It's going to be two rewards. It's going to be a reward for the wicked, according to Psalms the 91st chapter. And Lord willing, we be elect, we're going to receive a reward, man. Yeah, Revelations 2:29.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
And that's a part of the reward, man. Getting power over the nations that are over us right now. Like the brother was mentioning, we're the tail. Hey, the so-called white man is the head, man. Then you got these wound-licking other heathens, man. That's just getting rich off of us, man. licking our wounds, man. Like the parable of Lazarus. All right?
Verse 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of the potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
And ruling with a rod of iron represents power, man. You know, he's going to have power over all these nations, all these heathens, man. You know? We're going to rule them with a rod of iron, man. And what's a rod of iron usually used for? A correction stick, man. You know? It's like the apostles always mention that Bugs Bunny cartoon, when he was sitting on the throne and he had that rod, iron, man. He was, you know, I forgot who it was. I think it was Yosemite, and he was just beating them in the head, man. That's going to be us, man, on a way high scale, man. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that reward, man. You know? Can the brother get 1 Corinthians 15, labor not in vain? And we believe that we're not laboring in vain, man. The Lord's shown us signs without us asking for it, man. He's shown us that He's real. We didn't just one day, oh, I'm an Israelite, you know. And we didn't ask for this. The Lord chose us for this, man.
First Corinthians 15 and 58. It says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Because, hey, every time we do this, like the apostles always mention, man, it's a penny, man. You know? A penny, man. So every time we do the work of the Lord, we put our spiritual money in a spiritual bank account, man. You know? So we can withdraw in the time of Jacob's trouble for deliverance, man. You know? You get people that come up here, how you doing this, right? You know?
Same reason why you doing your weekend.
The scriptures say, we persuade man with a terror of the Lord. One of the reasons, main reasons why a lot of us brothers woke up is, hey, we heard that this place was getting destroyed. We heard that this devil was going to come down with great wrath. You know, we didn't have no answers on what we was going to do. We're worms, according to the scriptures. God wormed Jacob. But the Lord gave us the answers, man, through the volume of the book. Yahuwah Shemel Shai, man, gave us the answers, man. You know?
And furthermore, you know, the Lord have appointed lots for spirits. You know, there's and then with every lot, you're gonna have people that cleave to it. So you're gonna have a lot of the righteous, you know, the hopeful elect, the prophets, and there's gonna be a group of people that cleave to them. You're gonna have people that's the alphabet community, that spirit. You're gonna have people cleave to that. You know, all these people here, all those people in that line, I'm pretty sure they can all relate to certain, they all cleave. They all got like some type of, you know, they can all be friends, you know, because everything has a cleaving to it, you know, and I'm actually
saying track, like the tracks, like.
Yeah, but the scriptures say, it say that.
Every man will cleave unto his right.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to look for right there. And I want to back up the point that you was. Ecclesiastes 13, start at 14 and build the vibration. Love the Lord all thy life and call upon him for thy salvation. Every beast loveth his life, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his life. So you have certain kinds, you know, like we were saying earlier, we're in the truth because this is a lot that the Lord gave us. You know, this is the assignment that the Lord gave us. And according to this assignment, or this, you know, this spirit, there's a cleaving to it. You know? So you're gonna have brothers that got the same spirits and the same that's like-minded, that's gonna come together in the unity of the spirit because they all have a fervency and a desire to do that which is pleasing unto the Lord. Now on the left-hand side, you got all kind of weird, crazy shit. You got niggas that's in the hood that sell dope. They link up with the other dope dealers. You got people that do drugs, snort coke, you know, or shoot up, all that. They hang out with other people that do that.
You got that hip-hop camaraderie.
Hip-hop, you got niggas that play basketball, that athlete spirit, that basketball. Oh, bro, yeah, the game came on last night, bro. You see the stats, bro? You know? You got the tennis shoe niggas.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Oh, I just picked up these, you know, I just got the new dunks, whatever. You know, it's a new drop. You got niggas in the cars. Y'all heard Dodge coming out with a new Hellcat, man. I think I'm gonna get that. Refinance this and give it to my baby mom. Get that. You know? You got niggas in the motorcycle club. You got people that gamble. You know? So you got different like lots. You got different lots on the world, and then you got spirits that cleave into them. But this is the lot that the Lord gave us, man. So that's why we do what we do, man, because this is a spirit that the Lord gave us. And the reason why it's growing how it's growing is because there's a cleaving to this. You can't stop it. Just like we can't stop moles. He that is unrighteous, let him be unrighteous still. He that is filthy, let him be filthy still. We can't stop y'all moles from doing what y'all do. You can't stop us from doing what we do, man. So y'all gonna continue to look at us crazy, and we're gonna continue to look at y'all crazy.
Yeah, you said that first block. Two right there.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you want a physical representation, look at the animal kingdom. All the lions, they chill with each other. All the meerkats, they hang out.
A whole bunch of panthers chilling together.
Oh, yeah.
You'll never see a lion with a cheetah.
Yeah. Cheetah hanging out with the lions.
That movie Gran Torino, what's his name? Clint Eastwood told that group girl, he said, why don't you hang with your own kind? Why are you hanging out with, that's us, man. Because really to this world, we're weird. We're weirdos.
But then we look at them as being weird.
Right.
Yeah,
A nigga that's sitting up smoking weed, blowing draw all day, music on. We look at them and be like, look at this nigga. Fuck. This nigga. You know, so hey, what y'all say about us, we say the same thing about y'all. And the scriptures say that. Whatever judgment you judge, it shall be judged unto you. Because we can say the same thing about y'all. Y'all weird, why y'all wear that? Why y'all dress like that? Why y'all sound like that? Come on, hey. You know?
Proverbs 29:27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked.
Yeah, so that's why it's a constant fight. We against y'all against us. Y'all hate us, we hate y'all. Straight up.
Brother said, hey, the Lord said the strangers is their salvation, man. The Lord said his strange acts and strange works. This weirdness right here, man, this is of the Lord, man.
If Yahuwah was on the scene, if John the Baptist was on the scene, y'all would have said that they was weird, man. Who was this man named Yahuwah? All he do is go and teach in various villages and the temples. And then they saying that he's healing people. He's raising them for the grave. That's weird. Then he got this group of men with him. They call them the 12 disciples. And then he sends them out on twos. So what's going on?
Being called a Christian during that time, that was a derogatory term.
We got 10 minutes to count.
For Christians to be, for the Romans to call us that was proof that they despised on what we believed in, as opposed to them. The Romans, some Edomite Romans, they were homos. They was worshiping demigods and stuff. Half man, half beast. And that's weird. Half man and half beast.
Right.
Paul cut that in
and those half man, half beast gods and shit, that go the Most High do got some creations out there, you feel me, in the heavens, you know, particular angels. They got some terrible looks to them, you know. But this shit that these people make, these false gods, people still worship them today.
And even the spider. The spider had like 8 arms.
Yeah.
That's the God of the Lord's, terrible creation.
And don't even talk about the sea life, man. It's fish that got human teeth.
Piranhas, 18. Like, by looking at that, you can tell that shit.
Come on, man. Get your There's certain creations that got like gold teeth. Like they got a beard and all that.
All like a goat. That's what they get. Gold teeth.
There was this one strange like thing in the ocean. I seen it a long time ago, but it was like in an octopus type form. Then it morphed into like a ball. It changed shape. And then you got other creatures in the sea. Like they make moves about like Chulu or whatever the case may be. You know, these things are real, man.
Yeah, these are false prophets right here. This leads so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Americans astray. Those false doctrines. These elites pay these people off. Keep these people in darkness. That's a false god. Which the truth, the depiction of the Heavenly Father and the Son is in the Bible. But these elites, they push this image, they push white supremacy. And then the elites, they're going to push a new financial system. It's called in the Bible, the mark of the beast, which is going to be implantable technology. They're going to put it in your hand. And without it, you won't be able to buy or sell. If you receive this, you're going to receive divine judgment from the Heavenly Father and the Son. And
What do you guys know? What's
we're Israelites. We're Israelites. We're the people that you read about in the Bible.
Where you from?
And our religion is and our religion is keeping the commandments. Yeah. So you're an Israelite.
But I'm Jewish.
Yeah, well, Israelite. Because
That's your
Jewish.
religion? Huh? That's your religion? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't believe in religion.
No, wait, hold on. All right. When you say Jewish, do you practice Judaism, or when you say Jewish, you say you descend from the Israelites?
No, I don't understand from the Israelites. I'm practicing Judaism.
Okay, so you keep the law, the statutes, and the commandments.
Yeah.
Okay, where's the fringes?
I don't have one. I just keep them working.
Well, part of Judaism is to keep the commandments.
Yeah, I fell out of practice for a while.
Okay.
And like the last religion I was practicing.
Well, the Jewish, like I said, they practice, it goes back to Judaism, and Judaism is the practice of keeping the commandments.
Right.
Now, the commandments, the law, the statutes, and commandments were given to the Israelites, which are known today as so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because we fit the prophecies.
Right.
Now, the people that's calling themselves Jewish, they're not the real people. They don't fit the prophecies of the Bible, and neither are they the salt of the earth.
So these are black men here too.
Yeah, black people, white people, Asian people. These are so-called false prophets.
The false prophets.
Yeah, because they don't give warning of what's to come. They don't teach the truth, knowledge, wisdom, understanding the Bible. You know, the different religions that they push, is loosely translated in the Bible. They don't talk about the mark of the beast. They don't talk about the ruling class elites. Alright? They don't talk about the coming deliverance for the Israelites. You're an Israelite, man. You're not Jewish. You're Israelite. So repent. That's your true nationality. are an actual Israelite, and your heritage and your religion is the keeping of the commandments.
All right, fella, let's run it stop real quick.
Got a question? Yeah. Hey, what's going on?
My question is this a religion?
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
We're Israelites. And
Just one more. What's the name?
huh?
Can you describe your religion?
Yeah. To describe our religion, we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. You are a Moabite or Ammonite in the Bible, and they're going in slavery still under the Israelites.
Well, is it a branch of Christianity?
No.
Okay, that's good. Where can I learn more about it?
We learn it right here. We just gave you a
No,
tool.
YouTube.
Just type on YouTube Hebrew Israelites.
Israelites. It's on
YouTube Hebrew Israelites. Israelites.
That's what I want.
Yeah, just type that on YouTube.
The one with the blood.
He said the what?
Because
I just gave you the site, man.
All right, man.
all right.
You still think that?
Sounds 8 4.
Man, a whole bunch of weird stuff is happening.
They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance."
That's the spirit what we was trying to explain to the Israelite brother. Hey, we out here to, like the brother when he opened up, we out here to teach repentance, man. We out here to give our people the message and why he's not Judaism, you know. And that's not his custom. It's not the bars at all. But, hey, Jake want to hear what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
He can just tell by spirit,
Oh,
he really wasn't resonating.
he just had, that was just a rebuttal.
You side-ish, homie.
And we was coming in that, our brother came to we afraid of
He said, I have here for work.
But now he trying to profess, you know, that he actually follow.
I'm Jewish and all that, Judaism and all that. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna tell him, but you know, I was talking too high.
Got carnal on it.
I got carnal.
I was gonna say, you know, they practice taboo. You know, circumcising male babies with their mouth.
You should actually get circumcised by your yeah. But we broke some clothes off.
Lord willing, it's edifying camp. I want to give all praise to the Lord.
Yahuwah, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Ba'adash.
Double honors to our apostles at Great Millstone, who will wait and tell us the truth. Peace, love, and salutations to you. I give us a part of the